Why it's not time to panic about cell phones and cancer. Recently, I lost a day at work when my upshot colleague Austin Fract emailed me first thing in the morning to tell me that headlines were appearing declaring that an explosive new cell phone cancer study was making the rounds. As I have long been interested in this topic, I started to read the headlines and news. Cell phone cancer link seen in rat study, said Time. Cell phone radiation linked to cancer in major rat study, said IEEE Spectrum, a magazine for engineers. I was dismayed to say the least. Game-changing, as a quotation in a Mother Jones headline put it, seemed like a bit of an overreach. So I went ahead and read the paper. Despite what some outlets reported, this was a not yet published study of rats that had been shopped for review, but had not been accepted by any editors. It detailed a study that examined if exposing rats to radiation like that emitted by cell phones might give them cancer. The researchers first exposed pregnant rats to whole-body CDMA or GSM-modulated radio frequency radiation for 9 hours a day, every day of the week. Once these rats gave birth, the researchers took pups of each sex and set them up in groups exposed to both types of radiation at 3 different levels. At the end of the study, they found that male rats had a statistically significant, p0.05, higher rate of glioma, a brain tumor, and cardiac schwannomas, a nerve tumor in the heart, in the CDMA-exposed groups. There were no differences in brain tumors in the GSM-exposed rats. There were no differences seen in female rats. There were no differences seen in schwannomas in other locations than the heart in any rats. This, evidently, was enough for many news media outlets to proclaim that the debate had been reignited and that your cell phone could kill you. That's not what the study said at all. Let's begin with the fact that this is a rat study and that we shouldn't jump to the conclusion that what happens with rats and cancer is what happens in humans. That's burned us before. Continue reading the main story. It's also odd that increased cancer was seen only in male rats and not in female rats. Do we believe that females are protected from cell phone radiation? Oddly, the male rats in the control group lived much shorter lives than expected. Do we believe that cell phone radiation exposure makes rats live longer? The rate of cancer in the exposed rats was actually in line with what you'd expect in rats in general. It's the controls that had oddly low rates of cancer. Do we believe that the control rats were somehow cured of cancer? The answer to all of these questions is, of course, no. But headlines blaring those results would be just as valid as those we saw last week. The shortened lifespan in the control rats is a real problem, too. If it turns out that these cancers develop later in life, then their dying early could be responsible for all the significant results of the study. The study,